What up, though, everybody? Thank you for listening and watching another episode of the Three Raw Podcast. This is CJ.
That's Rob.
Your boy Jimmy.
So, shoot, it's been a pretty interesting week for me. First off, I got this new MacBook I've been working on. New MacBook. I've been working on some stuff for the past few days. Trying to be productive, and that's about it. Shit. How about y'all? How y'all been doing for the past few days?
Man, I've been trying to hang in there working, staying out the way. Found out yesterday that my Uncle Juan is actually in a coma due to the coronavirus, on a respirator right now. So we're praying that God uses his healing virtue. And we also are praying for his will.
Right.
Want to shout out my family. Want to shout out my friends. I want everybody to stay safe. Pray. I want to shout out my sister that's watching over my son right now. She keeping him safe and everything good. So shout out to Brittany.
Okay. How about you, Rob?
Man, same thing, man. Trying to stay out the way. Recently went to go visit my father and shit earlier. I'm happy he's doing better.
Okay.
Weight. That's good. He done gained some weight. Just basically trying to stay out the way, dog. You know what I mean?
I feel you. That's facts, man. I'm glad everybody doing good, even though we've been going through a lot for these past 2 months. But everybody good, and I'm happy about that. So, shoot, I'm going to have Brandon start off on these topics real quick. So, we'll be starting off, bro.
Man, shout out to Governor Gretch, a.k.a. Gretch in the building.
Yeah, Gretch, yeah.
Done earned her buffs. Definitely we got her back for sure. What I like about this woman.
Hey, hold on. Hey, scoot your phone up, small Brandon. You going out?
You got me?
Wait.
You got me?
Yep, you sound better.
Yeah. I just like the fact that the woman is just fearless. She's not about letting up whatsoever. Exactly what she said is exactly what she said. If you don't get down like that, then she's gonna extend it. You still don't want to get down like she's gonna extend it. If we're not careful, we're gonna be in the same position that the governor of New Jersey has put his city in, and his state, and that's gonna be we're gonna be quarantined indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to go get the food that I went to get just about an hour ago, and it is typical Detroit. A little bit of heat, and it's a whole lot of people on the street. They don't know no better, man. They really think that this is sweet. Like they really think this is sweet. It's not sweet. It's real out here. This is not your typical situation of what will happen in the summer. And hopefully that don't pop off either. But, this is real. This ain't no picking up no gun. I'm about to go handle somebody. You could literally accidentally touch me and shit get real from there. So I need people to really slow it down. I know the sun is out. I know the kids ain't got nothing to do. I know the babies want to get on the bike. I know you want to go run and work out and whatnot. And I'm not saying that you can't do a few of these things, but a good amount of this stuff requires a crowd. And we can't afford to have any crowds. Y'all gotta step up and listen straight up.
Right. Y'all seen what was going on at Belle Isle today?
Jesus, I don't even know what happened. Idiots.
Man, somebody was saying it was lit. I ain't see the video yet, but I'm quite sure it's gonna be a video. But they say it was like a lot of people at Belle Isle today.
How are they able to get in there?
I mean,
the state park.
I know.
It's still technically open. You know what I mean? Definitely if you pay that little $10, what is it, $10 CJ for that pass?
I think it's 10, but I don't think the state workers are actually there. So everybody can go into Belle Isle right now for free.
Wow.
Like to add into what Brandon was just saying, man, I kind of like basically what I was saying a couple weeks ago on the podcast, man. The hotter it get, the worse it's gonna get, and it's unfortunately a lot of people don't think shit stink till shit hit the fan. And when I say that, it got to be something that they care about personally.
Right. It has to be home.
Or if not home, it got to be somebody that they just simply care about. Like, think about this. we living in now a generation / era that a lot of people honestly don't even really care if their family members is affected. But if it's somebody that they quote unquote care about that's famous or whatever, you know what I mean? Then it's a reaction. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not saying Detroit the only city nationwide that's probably doing all this since screen is breaking. But I just feel like us in particular, we've been getting a lot of nationwide press because, you know, like Brandon was just saying, and the governor, you know, Trump bashing her. What was that, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
And the protests we've been, well, you know what I'm saying, constantly getting to see like once a week at her home, and you know what I'm saying, in Lansing and stuff like that. Does like,
Yep.
it's a joke here overall in the state. But what do you think, CJ?
I mean, she is standing there for a reason to make sure that we safe and we make sure this at least like blow off like at least 95%, and we could go back to, you know, our normal lives. But I think it's ridiculous that people not taking it serious as it is. I'm quite sure. I knew when I seen the when I seen on my weather app today, it was like it hit 80. I'm like, shoot, somebody gonna be at Rouge Park or any other park just be barbecuing and shit like that. So when I went on Facebook and see like a lot of posters about people at Belle Isle and stuff like that, I'm like, oh shit. And I'm quite sure it's niggas too.
I feel like this though, like it's a lot of small parks throughout the city. Even if you just feel like you want to go and enjoy the weather a little bit, try to go there, man. Like, why would you want to go to somewhere you know for sure hundreds of people go try to gather?
Yeah.
Because they feel like it's gonna be less of a fight with the police, because the police are not gonna be in the mood to try to dictate with all hundreds of these people when the police don't even have the supplies that they need to even do their dog on job.
You know what?
Through this quarantine.
You only pull people like that no
Smaller
more.
parks.
You can drive with
the
a
small
license.
parks have actual police pulled, like they're pulled up at those small parks waiting on somebody to actually do something stupid like that, which is crazy.
Hey, you going in and out again, Brandon?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, a whole lot better again.
Yeah. What I was saying was they have police parked at those small parks that you're speaking of. They got them at those small parks, waiting on kids, waiting on parents to do something like that. But those bigger parks, I'm inclined to believe that it's because we have less manpower, we have less supplies. How are we supposed to contain all these hundreds of people that's going to gather up? Unfortunately, it's kind of like, and I don't mean this in the worst way possible, but in the other hand, it's like crowd control. If they do catch this, God forbid, it's like, okay, well, that's less people that we're going to have to deal with. And I'm sure that's not the way that they look at it or even think about that, but that's something that becomes a factor when you don't listen, and now you're in the percentile of us having to try to help you versus us trying to prevent you. So
right.
it's silly right now, man.
Yeah, and I think for them, it's gonna be longer. It's gonna take a long time for all this virus stuff to get to, you know, go away. And I think it's stupid, man. This trying to have like a large gathering, like the video. I'm quite sure y'all see the video of this like little gathering in Chicago.
Talking about that room,
and shit, like 200 people in the house.
Yeah, man.
That shit ridiculous. And people not taking like no type of responsibility or nothing like that. They don't see like the seriousness of this virus, of this pandemic, not this virus, but the pandemic that we deal with right now. And you know, I work at the airport, so I remember this shit was going down back in like February. That's when we took it serious. Cause I remember people coming in from other countries wearing masks and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck they wearing masks for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that shit weird as hell. You know, back in the days when you used to see people wearing masks in public, you'll think like, I need to get the fuck away from this person because they sick as a motherfucker.
Or they are just getting out of a surgery of some sort where they're exposed.
Right, they don't want to get infected.
But it's normally a 1 or 2, 3 person type situation, not no 10 to 15. It's not a group thing normally. So,
but now everybody wearing a mask because, you know, because like most of us, some of us take it serious. We want to go to the grocery store without wearing a mask. Shit, hell, they got some stores. They got a policy to where you can't even go into their store without wearing a mask. You know, so I mean, as long as we like take all the precautions, take it more serious, we'll be all right. And it's crazy that some of these states are opening up, like Georgia, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. They spiked up as far as like I ain't checked the numbers, but they increased by like over 1,000 more
Had
cases
1,000 cases and over a dozen deaths, just that quickly.
just that quickly. I'm like, man, oh hell nah. And
And
especially
like,
Atlanta,
I don't know. I feel like I fought the governor as well as I fought the city because, nigga, you ain't got no backbone.
you talk about Georgia or Michigan?
No, like Georgia
Oh yeah,
ain't got no
that
backbone.
governor is an idiot.
Ain't got no type of backbone. So what you're telling me is that me as a citizen, I get to dictate to you as a governor what you're gonna do. Don't get me wrong. You're not, the supreme ruler or nothing. But these type of situations require you to be more prevalent in your thought processes about
Yeah,
what you're going to do. So
but you know that most of these governors, the ones that reopen their states, they're Republican, so they're like Trump's puppets and shit like that. So Trump would support it, like no matter what.
what you think, Rob?
Yeah,
It's just sickening, dog. I don't really got too much more to say about the topic, man. It's sickening. The only thing that's sad is that it's getting hotter and it's only gonna get worse until
Unfortunately.
a lot of this die down. Now, who knows? It might start to die down. You know what I mean? We don't know, but
Nice.
like I was saying a couple weeks ago, I didn't see it open it back up May 5th. Honestly, maybe sometime end of June, maybe, but something gonna have to hit the fan before a lot of like something. I hate to say it's gonna have to be somebody that a lot of people cheers. And I'm not just I'm not trying to sound bad or nothing, but if somebody that a lot of people cheers get this and unfortunately pass away from this, a lot of motherfuckers will sit down.
Hopefully.
right.
But that's the thing. Like, I hope it don't. Like, why does it always take that? It always takes us losing something important for us to actually say, all right, maybe I should have just, like, what do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean? I'm
All I
done.
know is I'm ready for this shit to be over with, so I can just get my haircut. All right, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best as a United States citizen to stay in the house, make sure I take extra protocol to make sure I'm safe and my family's safe, and just wait till everything blow off.
Yes, sir.
So, but yeah, speaking of haircuts, man, my shit is struggling, dog.
Be all right, man. You
Huh?
probably got some shit. You probably got some shit in that house where you can actually comb it to a certain extent to where it don't even look like it's a fro anymore.
I know, man. I just been extra lazy, man. I ain't been brushing it like I should. I ain't like combing it much I should. You shit my shit. You see my shit my like nappy as hell.
It's just a difference, man. Like usually when you going into growing your hair, it's a process. You go get it trimmed up, you get it shaped up, and who would have known all this was happening? So
Yeah.
everybody, like, look at my shit is about the same. You know what I mean? Uneven in certain spots. What can you do? Who would have known? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't
And
even like. Go ahead.
yeah, me and my coworkers, we was talking about it today, man. He was like, I know, like a lot of my coworkers, they get their haircuts like every week or every 2 weeks, and just to see them come in and their hair, out of place, it's like, damn, you get a cut every damn week, dog. Be fresh as hell, and now your shit look all, that shit look like Kuta Kente, this motherfucker, dog.
Oh, shit. But then again, like back to the like he said, it's a process of growing it. Even with shaping it up, you still have to comb, oil, wash. Like Niggas not doing that for real. And there's a lot of cats that ain't never did it in the first place, and they're starting to show for real. Like
It's starting to show for real,
like
dog.
you ain't never actually did this before, have you? Like when I talk to people at work and they see how I do what I do with my hair, you know, they grow their hair. I got a dude that came up, he's like, my junk all matted. Like, what you be doing? I'm like, well, nigga, do you wash your hair? He's like, nah, not really. I was like, do you put oil in it? Nah, not really. Well, nigga, that's the problem. Nigga,
Yeah,
your
most fellas don't oil their hair and stuff like that because they don't see the need to. You know what I mean? Definitely if you're going to the barbershop every 2 weeks, you know what I mean? You might wash your hair before you go get your hair cut. A lot of people don't got waves and stuff like that. They just get their hair cut. Might brush it every day. Then when it's time to go back to the barbershop, wash their hair and repeat the cycle. You know what I mean?
No.
And now in this quarantine is forcing, you know, it's been almost 2 months, haven't it, CJ?
Almost 2 months, yeah. Almost 2 months.
So, almost 2 months. Majority of people forcing to grow this little natural, they starting to see like, oh shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot to that.
Yep. But you know, like for me, I wash my hair at least twice a week. Like even before the quarantine shit, I was washing my hair twice a week. And especially if you have waves, it's like a technique you have to do to like wash your hair. Wash your hair, then put conditioner on it for like 15 minutes. Let it sit.
brush that out.
Brush it out, right. And then you don't want to brush it. Now, like even nowadays, I don't brush it too much because especially with the brush you have, it has dandruff in there. Or it's like kind of dirt looking, whatever. So I usually wash my brush and everything.
I used to throw
Like
my
I see a
brushes
lot of
washing
niggas,
machine.
bro. I see a lot of niggas. They be like they have like dandruff on their fucking brushes, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't wash your brush? Like, no, man, I don't wash my brush. I'm like, what?
Could you imagine what we possibly could have been catching back when we was growing up? When we used to ask your mans, hey, yo, you got a brush? We didn't give a shit
You
back
said
then,
possible
bro.
catching. Niggas was catching ringworms,
Lice in this bitch.
lice and shit. Majority of white people was getting
Yeah,
lice.
white
Though.
people get the lice. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Niggas was catching some shit, dog. A lot of them type diseases start dying down though, thank God. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But oh man.
But I was seeing niggas that was cutting hair in high school. You know, niggas get cut like one head, and then one dude he'll cut one head, then he'll cut another head without cleaning not cleaning the clippers and shit, bro.
Yeah, that too.
Hell.
That too.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
That
You
shit
see
will
that
catch
blue
infection.
solution on the side, nigga. It's a problem.
Right. I'm like, man, your shit gonna be affected, man.
Real.
What's up, man? What y'all think about this new battle that's coming up on IG? With,
Which one? Which one?
Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott. Who y'all think that's about to take that?
Erykah. Period.
You say Erykah Badu, CJ.
Erykah, man, that's a legend,
Erykah.
bro. I mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
think
Jill Scott is like she's a legend in her own right, and she got hits for days. But Erykah Badu got hits for months, for weeks and months and shit like that.
I think Erykah about to win, but I think it's gonna be more, you know what I'm saying, the impact of her songs to the point where it's like she got more songs doing her. Because I think both of them, if you actually pay close attention, they both hit-wise probably got the same amount of hits. But Erykah hit a little bit harder impact-wise.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You hear that Tyrone, you know what I mean? Like, it's 4 and 5-year-olds now that know, call them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that impact, dog, you know. But it's great to see certain stuff like that, man, because in my opinion, them two ladies was like the two queens of the neo soul, you know what I'm saying, movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, late 90s, early 2000s. Of course, you had Angie Stone. You had
There it is. All right, that's what I was trying to figure, man.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, you had Angie Stone. Now, granted, a lot of people don't know Angie Stone is one of the, you know what I'm saying, first female rap groups and one of the first female rappers. Like, before she even became Angie Stone, the singer, she was a rapper, you know what I mean? So she got a real rich history, you know what I'm saying? But
right. Because she started at what, late 80s, right? Late 80s, early.
And like 85 with her rap group. They had a mild hit too. You know, you need to Google her, man. She got a real rich history. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfortunate though, because during that same time when them two ladies was like me and Brandon was saying earlier, there was another certain young lady who seemed to be the key that music was missing. You know what I mean? She seemed to be that piece to, you know what I'm saying, unite hip hop, R&B, gospel,
all
the
of it.
blues, neo soul, all in one. And that young lady is Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all feel like, well, not if y'all feel like, how do y'all feel about Lauryn Hill's legacy? And if she would have continued to make music, where would she stand, like, as far as the all-time best, you know what I'm saying, just artists, period?
If she put out at least 2 more classic albums, some people think she could be as high as like a legendary mark as like Whitney Houston.
Whitney
Houston. For like, as far as like the female side. That one album she put out, Miss Education of Lauryn Hill is like a classic.
It's the perfect blend of hip hop, R&B, gospel, reggae, blues.
And we needed it at the time. Especially in 98 when it came out. And I was 10 years old at the time. And that's why I really, really fell in love with music. Because you gotta think about DMS came out. We had the group, like we had Drew Hill, we had Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge was coming out at the time. 112. I can go on and on and on. But like Lauryn Hill, she took a step like further, like up, because she was with the Roots, right?
She was with the Fugees
Fugees. Sorry, Fugees.
From 94 to 96. Well, actually 94 to the early part of 97.
Right. And you see with that group, you see how impactful she is, especially with her voice. And when she became solo, we was like, I'm trying to see how that's gonna translate from her group with her group, from her group to solo. And then when she came off that album in 98, I'm like, oh man, this is the shit right here.
I saw it coming though, CJ. It was a song that came out that I think we all got a glimpse.
That's how I thought at the time, because I was young.
I was young too.
I wasn't really like, I wasn't like musical educated at the time. So,
I think it was a song that we all, well, yeah, I could say like in hindsight. I'm not gonna say us then, because we all was around 10 or 9 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when we as adults now in hindsight, if we would have been adults then, remember she came out with the sweetest thing. What was it called? The sweetest thing I ever know. That song that was off the Love Jones soundtrack.
Yeah.
And at that time, if y'all can recall, that song was on Wyclef Jean, the Refugee All-Star album. And they was wondering what was going on with the Fugees then. Come to find out, a lot of people didn't know that whole Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is based on her relationship with Wyclef Jean. Like, come to find out, they was together and he was cheating on her. And he cheated on her and had a baby on her. So even though she was
I found that out years later. Yep.
So even though she was pregnant with her husband's baby, doing the promo of that in 97 when she was recording the album, it was based off their relationship from 96 that nobody knew about.
So that was her confession.
Because you think, well, sort of, kind of, yeah, sort of, kind of not. Like, think about this, Brandon. We know this now in the 2020s, you know what I'm saying, at 30, 31, 32. We got to put into factor how young they even was in the 90s. They was like, you see what I'm saying, 22, 23. They were still babies. You know what I mean? We just, growing up, they seemed so old. Like, everybody in that time.
Music was so experienced. Even though when her album came out, she was out for like maybe Well, she was doing her thing for like 10 years prior to that.
Yeah, sort of. Yep. But they was kids doing their thing. You know
They
what I
were,
mean? Like,
right. They were kids.
Sister Act 2 came out in what, 93, 94?
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. But what you say again?
I said Sister Act 2 came out in what year? 94 or 93?
94?
And she had to be. This was like right before the first Fugees album came out. Sister Act came out. And she was doing acting and little small child acting and singing then. Remember she was on Star Search? And that was like 91. So
Okay.
it was babies, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly,
what did you think, Brandon? Where do you think she would have been?
honestly, she probably would have been in the same boat as Jay-Z or Missy Elliott as far as being an adapter. But I think she was on the same level that Nas was. And even though Nas is still, giving us music here and there, as far as feeling the realism of wanting to make something, wanting to bring something to the table, I think for her it just became a thought process of what else do I bring to these people? Because I don't really think that, even though they appreciated and loved the miseducation, I don't think they understood it like they were supposed to. So do I give them another album that they can't understand? Because, that's what Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Missy, Jay-Z, they do that with no fail and no cake. You'll figure it out later.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of albums that they like to release. She released that one album, and it was literally that. Where are you going with this? Because you're taking me everywhere with it. And for a lot of people, I think it might have been too much. So
I mean to cut you off, Brandon, but I think what she missed was she had a great team working on her album.
Facts, bro. She had a lot of different producers, songwriters. She had a whole. Now, granted, she wanted to do Into the Prince. Like, if you do like a little research on that album, she wanted to do what Prince did, basically record and produce all her own shit. The thing was, she still had to hire certain trumpet players and certain, jazz musicians and stuff like that to play out the melodies she was creating in her head. You see what I'm saying? Like, basically to do a Quincy Jones to orchestrate the production. You feel me? Yeah. So go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. What y'all was talking about?
Go ahead, Brandon.
No, like what y'all saying is exactly right, and that's my entire point. When I bring up Missy and her possibly being on the same level if she would have continued, if you think about what Genuine had said at the time when he felt like he wasn't doing as good as he could have been doing, he felt like the reason was because I don't have Timberland behind me like I used to. And at first I was looking at that like, that's kind of an excuse because you're an incredible singer. But then I see what he's doing with Justin Timberlake. And then I'm like, well, that might be the case. Because how good would Justin having his back?
I remember when he said that too, Genuine.
I remember when he
said the only thing that come to find out when he said that, and I hate to like go into Genuine, but I remember Timberland replied, and come to find out, Genuine was like having a real strong issue with alcoholism at that time. So like Genuine at that time didn't want to face his demons. So on the outside looking in, it seemed like, Timberland just leaving me alone. He doing all this pop stuff with Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake. Timberlake and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But come to find out, it was Genuine alcoholism and stuff like that was, like pushing Timberland away to deal with him. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you do in a situation like that? Like, this still my brother, but like it's only so much I can take it as.
Right. And I didn't know about that till y'all said it just now. We talk about Timberland made a comment about his alcoholism.
From my knowledge, it was still some of the issues that was going on with the group he had with Tyrese and Tank. Genuine with the drinking.
That actually, I can play into that. because I followed them when they first started. And the issue wasn't just that. It had always been that, these guys grew up together as far as in music. Apparently it had always been a back and forth between him and Tyrese. It had always been that way as far as working together. It became a situation about money after the first album because Tyrese, at the time, if y'all remember, was going through it with everybody because he felt like I'm this guy and I should get this certain amount of money.
You said at the time. He still is. We just don't care no more.
But no,
I'm not trying to cut you off, dog, but I gotta throw this in about Tyrese because you just brought him up, dog. It's just unfortunate that you would have somebody like Tyrese who ego would get into play. Now, I'm not gonna say I was the biggest Tank Tyrese Genuine fan. As like a unit put together, I feel like that's what R&B needed at that time because R&B was like moving more to hip hop. And it was like these three brothers still can sing and dance and entertain. They writers, they producers, they know how to play instruments. They try to at least attempt to bring you something that's not, was where R&B was moving at that time. You know what I mean? And for Tyrese to just come and oh my God. Yo,
right.
Superstar, prima donna, motherfucking ego to come in and play a factor in something like this, bro. Like you Michael Jackson or David Ruffin or some shit, bro, was beyond me.
And the praise.
Go ahead. Oh no, I just wanted to throw this in. To be real with you, music wise, in my opinion, I think Genuine was the bigger artist music wise.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. And that's exactly what Tank had said. Tank had said, the funny part about the whole thing is that nobody wanted to, and we didn't say it, as far as Tank was saying, as far as Genuine was saying, nobody wanted to go out and go say, if you really want to go there, when we allow Genuine to do Pony, we're completely forgotten. They don't even look our way anymore. Pony by itself, as far as the money that we get for the tours and all, like, come on, bro. Why do you think? Because
that was a dog ass hit back in '96, dog.
I mean, look, they all had their own hits individually, dog, but you just gotta face fact. If we go do it musically, you talking about what you are as a movie star. And technically, you're not even really a big movie star. You in a franchise that generate millions of dollars because the franchise that you play in is something that's big. You're not even the main character in this franchise. You're not the first, second, or third main character in this Fast Furious franchise. We don't go to see these movies to see you, bro. We go to see Vin Diesel. We now, since they didn't included The Rock, we go to see The Rock. We was going to see what was his man's before he died?
Paul Walker.
We was going to see Paul Walker. These is the three people we was going to see, bro. We wasn't going to see Tyrese. You should be thankful that you was even allowed to still keep a role in this movie, to be real with you.
Right.
Which is crazy because all the roles within this franchise are intricate and they make it so in each movie. They try to really make it so. Everybody on this team is intricate. Everybody means something to this team. And this brother outside of this movie is like, yeah, but I'm Tyrese.
Yeah, man. Like, that's one thing I want to talk on too, dog. Like, sometimes your mental health can get in the way of a whole lot of different things. You know what I mean? And I just feel
that's
like currently right now, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but I got somebody real close to me right now that's to a small degree having a mental breakdown. You know what I mean? And it's more like, since he's not 100% handicapped or 100% I need help, he's not first and foremost admitting that he need help. But everybody around him can see that you need help. You see what I'm saying? But it comes in and out. So it basically comes up when, he drinking, and then it just sparked all this crazy stuff. But the crazy part about it is sometimes you can catch him for about a week or two and he all right. You see what I'm saying?
And you know what? That's crazy you mentioned that. I know we talk about it all the time in our podcast about mental health in African American community, especially our Black men. With us, and I will admit this too, like, we don't want to talk our problems because we don't want to be looked at as weak.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially with social media now, I think every man is starting to become more open now with their problems, and I think it's a good thing because like you don't want to fight your demons within yourself because you go kill yourself on the inside, and then eventually you go off yourself.
And
So
like, go ahead.
no, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was just gonna add in on what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I agree. You know what I'm saying? And like the person that I'm talking about, mind you, this is somebody that's close to me. You see what I'm saying? But it's not even the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he needs help. When he reacts and start to go through, you know what I'm saying, his breakdowns or, you know what I'm saying, mentally, you know what I'm saying, losing himself, he got a tendency to disrespect. So it's more like, I want to help you, but you disrespecting me and you pushing me further and further away. I can't even do it. Because now I don't know if you personally doing this purposely or if you doing this because you losing it. I don't know. And I just feel like this. Me and CJ was talking about this on I think the podcast with the young lady we had a couple weeks ago, as far as the way that we was raised as black boys. You know, and I hate to say like other races don't go through this, but just us in particular. You know what I mean? As black boys, we was just really raised, not all of us, but just overall toxic. It's like we couldn't express ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We had to, you know, shut up. We had to, you know what I'm saying, toughen up, man up. What was you crying for? Man, nigga, you better toughen the fuck up. Somebody hit you, you gotta go fight them. You gotta, oh, why is you mad? Why is you sad? Stop acting like a bitch. Stop acting like a girl. Stop acting like a punk. Stop acting like a sissy.
Right.
And that's all you hear from 3 to 4 years old until down there all your life. But definitely them vital years to where, all right, yeah, it's one thing to be tough. It's one thing to learn how to fight. It's one thing to defend yourself. But, like, you treating us like we a zombie, bro. You treating us like we a robot.
Programmed this way no matter what.
And then when we get older, you wonder why we had these issues. You wonder why, like me and CJ was saying on that episode, like, if I'm constantly hearing all my life, men ain't shit, men ain't meant, all men cheat, all men this, that, and the third, and I'm 5, 6, 7 years old. Every time I turn on the music, every time I turn on TV, in the movies, all the black female characters, all men is dogs, da-da-da. Every time I listen to, you know, a female around me, I'm not saying my family in particular, but I'm just using me as an example. You feel me? My auntie, my mama or some shit. Oh, niggas ain't shit. You know niggas is this. And but men ain't shit. All men is this. By the time I'm a man,
Right.
I'm programmed to think this shit is normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's
crazy.
Man. But it's like, all right, help. Uh-huh.
No, it's just like, it's crazy you say that because I got a coworker that I work with, and, you know, he one of them dudes that always got something on the flow every weekend. That, you know, he made the comment on my daddy's son. My daddy was his way. That's just where I am, and it's crazy because he recognizes the programming of it. Like it's not, you know, it's not like I'm doing this because I don't know no better. I absolutely know better, but this is what I saw. This is what I know. So, you know, it's very few dudes that see it and go, why does it have to be that way? You know, for me, I saw it and I said, so you mean all you had to do was not cheat on your wife and everything would have been okay? You mean all you had to do was be a father and then things was going to work out? All you had to do was do, like, a lot of common sense stuff would pop up to me with these situations, and I'd just be like, all right, so I see what not to and what to do versus niggas see this and niggas see that. That's all right, that's what you do.
Right.
But niggas run up on you talking crazy.
How many of y'all, have y'all fellas ever watched The Wire?
Oh yeah.
No.
You watched The Wire? See, dang, I had just started back rewatching The Wire on Hulu, doing all this, and then the first season. You planning on watching it, Brandon? Because I don't want. It's not really a spoiler.
No,
but
it's okay. No, it's okay. Look, I'm gonna give it a shot for sure.
Okay. Well, if you pay attention, CJ, if you can remember Wallace, you know Michael B. Jordan when he played in The Wire.
The young boy, yeah, the little
right.
kid.
One of the main reasons why Wallace had became a threat / a problem was because, like Brandon just said, he was one of the few who was out there selling drugs who started questioning why.
Yeah.
If you can recall, like he was on some stuff like, damn, how can we get this money and go home? Why do it got to be violence? Why do it got to be all this extra shit?
Breaking the cycle of the
and then like he became a problem and a threat because of that. And the same, if you can recall, with D'Angelo, CJ, one of the why he became a threat because he started seeing the flaws. Like, man, this game ain't what it is. The only thing that's good about this game is the money. All the backstabbing, all the killing, all the this, that. I'm not cool with that. This is not who I am. I just want to get the money. I can't, my conscience ain't good with this. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And by default, they became damn near public enemy number one because of that. You know what I mean? And it's like Brandon was saying is like, yeah, we might have that one person or maybe 2 or 3 people who are question something like, damn, why I gotta be this way? But how loud is our voice when we say certain stuff like this? It's like shit gotta always hit the fan until it's heard. So like with the person I was talking about, I already know, and I hate to say I pray for dude every night, but I'm not saying I'll have to motherfucker wipe my hands with him, but to a degree I have to put it in God's hand, because at this point in the game, I know something bad has to happen for him to wake up.
Right.
Because everything good.
That's how it is, because people want to learn the hard way.
He has to, and it got to be something very bad that's going to happen to him directly for him to learn the hard way, because he didn't have too many opportunities. Now, I'm not God. I can't say how many opportunities he's going to continue to have. You feel what I'm saying?
As far as what you've seen.
But as far as what I've seen, right, like you said, Brandon, I done seen a lot of people give him a whole lot of leeway, tried to help him a whole lot, and it's just like, it's for what? You know what I mean? Because he has a mental issue that he know he has, but he refusing to address, because to a degree, you know what I realized? And it's not just him. We as a people, and y'all seen it too, y'all probably never just spoke on it, but y'all see it. We would love to make status on Facebook saying we bipolar and we got issues, I'm crazy, this, that, and the third. But whenever it's time about correcting them issues and getting help for them issues, we never want to face that, because we never want to face them demons. Right. So long as you know I'm crazy and I can get the benefits of being crazy, you could be scared of me, or you don't want to say stuff around me, or be around, or be weary of me and shit like that because I'm crazy, then that's the pro. Or I can get the excuse to why I did some stupid shit or some ignorant shit, then I can do the excuse that I'm crazy or I'm bipolar, I need help, blah, blah. But then when it's time about correcting them demons, you don't want to do that, because a lot of motherfuckers is happy about being mentally ill than trying to actually get healed from being mentally ill.
That's the saddest thing ever, bro. If I know I got a problem, knowing that now, if knowing that I have a problem right now, I would immediately seek help. Especially I know I got somebody that's on the side of me that really love me, that want to help me.
And that's the thing, bro. A lot of people don't got people that's trying to help them, and I can understand that. But for a lot of people, dog, like a lot of people on alcohol real bad, and they got drinking problems, a lot of them don't never try to seek help when shit hit the fan. A lot of people who on drugs, a lot of them don't never seek help. And some do, but something extreme has to happen before they do it.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy to me is the people that see what they doing wrong and they still do it.
And that's what I'm talking about, Brandon. The person that I'm talking about sees what he doing wrong. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? This is rubbed the wrong way, because everybody knows what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
To a degree, you having mental problems because he always had like something a little off with him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But to a degree, you very smart. You very intelligent. You was very, very smart in school. And I get it. Sometimes you could be book smarts and not street smarts. I get that too. Feel me? Mm-hmm. But you very brilliant, man, and you know what you're doing. But man, I was drunk, blah, blah, blah. That don't work on everything you say and do.
That's an excuse.
That's an excuse, because it gets to the point where them excuses is piling up. I forgave you once, but within 1 year, I had to forgive you 73 times on you saying or doing or acting disrespectful or extreme or crazy, or and then it's I'm sorry. You know what you're doing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
My Daniel yesterday made a conscious decision that he did not wanted anything to do with his father. He was done because he looked at it from a standpoint of he's never going to do what he said he's going to do. So what's the point? And when I bring this up only because I think about how the reasons for not doing what you're supposed to do is a blame for everybody else supposed to be holding you back. When the door is, CJ, you know, the door
all the opportunities to be his life. All the opportunities.
Open. If you have any fear at all, it's got to come from the standpoint of, you know, you full of it, or you know you got to deal with me. But other than that, I'm out the way. I do what you got to do because in my mind, that's what you should be doing. But it's just a crazy cycle with.
That's an epitome. That's an epitome of a bum nigga. That's what it is.
I gotta ask you a question, Brandon.
It's really
and
good.
I'm not trying to be in your business, my brother. So let me know if I am.
Okay.
But Daniel, do he have a relationship with his father's like mother or other family members?
He had a whole brigade of a relationship with the whole family, and one by one, they just started showing colors that me and his mother never illustrated for him. Let me make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's families that do that. They illustrate. You need to watch out because they do that. You need to watch out because they do this. Never did any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was shown in front of him for him to make his own collage of what it could be that could possibly cut himself off from this part of the family. And so by one, they just kept. And here we are on the other end. You got to love them. You got to respect them. You got to hold on. You got to love them. You got to respect, got to hold on. And after a while, it just became a thing where if we did put a block up, it was because the block was already put up. And we made sure that the door was completely concreted because you're not going to keep walking back into this door with only pain to give and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a child at the end of the day. He's still fragile. That stuff still counts as far as his schooling, as far as how he deals with other people, as far as how he deals with us. At the end of the day, we're still raising him. So if you don't have anything positive or intricate to give, we got to do what we got to do as far as protecting him at least the right way. As far as I'm concerned, it could be toxic like normal, where you arguing in front of the child and you going off and calling people this, calling people that. But we keep it as simple as possible. So
do he have other kids as well?
Daniel has 3 or 4 other siblings that are going through the same thing.
Oh man, that's horrible. Now I don't want to say that. I was about to say now I can see if you do that to one child. If you got like
I want you to say that. I want you to say that because that is also, and I'm not talking about you, but that is also an excuse that is made. It's just one. It's not as bad as it could be. You know, I got 6 children and 3 baby daddies, and they don't do shit.
Hold on, I'm not gonna cut you off, Brandon, but let me just add this in, right? The only reason why, like, I see what CJ was trying to say. I see what both y'all saying basically. And you 100% right, but what basically I kind of think what CJ was saying, sometimes you might have that one baby mama, baby daddy situation that's just flaky. You see what I'm saying? For whatever. But from what you just said and explained, y'all never had that, you know what I'm saying, revolving door syndrome or, you know what I'm saying, putting the blinders up on young dog. You see what I'm saying? So in this situation, it's more you than the quote unquote my tripping ass baby mama logic that a lot of us likes to use. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you, dog. That is just an excuse at this point because you just a whole ass nigga. And I'm not trying to talk about dude. I don't know dude. You know what I mean? I never met him a day in my life, but if I'm believing from everything you just told me, and you got multiple kids you putting through, and 9 times out of 10, you probably got kids you not claiming that nobody knows about, and all kind of other shit. You just a whole ass motherfucker, my
Yeah.
G. And it's like, it's not 1970 no more, 1980 no more, not the 90s. It's not even the 2000s. Matter of fact, do you want better? It's not even the 2010s no more. This is 2020. And if you still choosing to be a whole ass father or a whole ass mother, man, you deserve every form of karma that's coming your way, because
And he ain't hard to find either. You could easily go to the website, type in his name. You
whoa,
can.
whoa, 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 whoa,
I'm
whoa,
just
whoa,
saying.
whoa,
I'm
whoa,
just saying. He ain't
whoa,
hard to find. That's
whoa,
all I'm
whoa,
saying.
whoa, 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 whoa. Don't, come on, CJ, chill out, man. We were on a PG podcast, bro. I don't know what to talk about or doing. We ain't looking for nobody, ladies and gentlemen, dog. I don't know what he's saying. You is hard to find, my G, dog. I don't know how to find nobody. Boy. Boy, man. Matter of fact,
bro, I was thinking about what you were saying. I was thinking about what you were saying.
Let's ease off this conversation right
You
quick.
say it ain't the 70s no more, it ain't the 80s, it ain't the 90s, it ain't 2010.
I don't know nothing. You hear me?
What's the main thing?
I barely know how to work
2020s now. What's the main thing we got in 2020s?
I barely know how to work this phone, my G. I don't know how to do nothing.
Maybe because you're old as shit. That's why.
Let's ease off this conversation, man. I got a question for Brandon, dog.
Yes, sir.
The last 2 weeks, we've been having conversations on Wednesdays with a special guest about The Last Dance.
Yes,
Since
sir.
saying your schedule hasn't, allowed us to link up and talk about it. I just want to hear your thoughts, I don't have to be a lot. Just your thoughts on, what are you seen so far with the documentary?
It makes a lot of sense why basketball is not basketball anymore. And if I had to blame anybody, I would blame the organization. And I say that because it might as well be like the presidency, as far as it might as well be a government over these basketball players. The things that these men did in these offices, these deals, the blatant disrespect that came with all the deals that was made just caused me to go, you wonder why these men played as hard as they played. You wonder why Jordan and Rodman and Pippen, and you wonder why there was such a co-family mindset where I got you to an extent. And then when you watch them go against us, it's like we were already, it's the typical mindset as far as Detroit is concerned. We're already looked at as, it's Detroit.
Like,
what's in Detroit?
So blue collar, right?
Right. Like what's in Detroit? What's there to fear? What's there to respect? I believe that the bad boys didn't come from a mindset of the things that they did to be feared. I believe they came from a mindset of a thing to be respected. You come to our city, you already look at us like we're nothing. So on this court, you're going to respect what you don't respect. We will leave an imprint on you that when you're going against another team, and if that person happens to accidentally bump you, you will think about that bump could have been a Lambeer elbow. That bump could have been a Mahorn choke slam, whatever.
Yeah.
This could have been way worse than what it was. So I just watching it, you find out stuff that you thought that you already knew in a more intimate level as far as how these people perceive the game and what they thought was best. I will say this and leave it at that. I never understood nor saw that Phil Jackson was going through that much just to try to do his job. That part right there, that for sure bugged the hell out of me. That bugged the hell out of me because it's just like when you get a real good teacher or principal and you see the results of these students and then you want to switch things up because you just want your idea to shine. You pay for it. You pay for it. That saying where if it's not broke, don't fix it. That was literally nothing wrong with that team to where nobody, like, these men were at the physical peak of their game. And had they had some encouragement, there might have been a 97, 98, 99, 2000. That's it. That's the only years I'm giving them due to the fact because, like I said, they were at their physical peak. But had there been some encouragement, something more might have came out of that team. That's all I got to say.
What about you, CJ? You want to comment?
I agree with you 100%. Just like the Pistons and between 88 and 91 and the Pistons that we know when we was growing up, like 03 and 06, they the ones who made all the rule changes. No handshaking, no hard fouls and shit like that. And all that shit. Because, like, the Pistons back in 04 was, like, handshaking like a motherfucker. That was on your ass, like a nail on the wall. And, like, the Pistons back in the 90s, that was real physical, very aggressive. And the NBA didn't like that because they're trying to protect Michael Jordan's image at that time.
And that's what it was about.
And that was what it's all about. And David Stern didn't like that shit at all.
Nope. The fact that there's no finesse to the game, there's no special this or special that. Like, honestly, knowing the skill set that the Pistons had, it's out of the window because all we remember is, oh, he's trying to go for a layup. Punch the
and you said this on the previous episode, Rob, like they had a chip on. Well, you talked about the 04 Pistons, like with Chauncey had a chip on his shoulder.
Rip did. That whole team did. Tayshaun wore 22 because he felt like 21 other players came before he did, and he felt like he should have been at least the top 10. You know what I mean? Because he put in that time in Kentucky and his stats in college and stuff like that. Rip Hamilton felt like he had a chip on his shoulder. You know, they all did. That whole 2014 was something that's rare to find. And I feel like one of the main reasons why we never was able to repeat was because Joe Dumars kept trying to find players like that. And that's very weird to find. You know what I mean? But I'll say this. When David Stern came into the NBA, he had this motto of we always going to have this superhero, the Superman player in the NBA. Now, whether it was Jordan they tried to do it with Kobe. Then when they, you know what I'm saying, all the Ray case and all that stuff happened, they moved on to LeBron. And I understand it to a degree because I'm not for, you know what I'm saying, you trying to go up for a layup and like Karl Malone elbowing Zeke in the face and he got to get 32 stickers. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not for that. Now the fouls and the hand checking and stuff like that, that's cool. But like the Karl Malone elbowing Zeke in the face and, you know, some of the wild stuff some of them teams was doing, like I told on the last episode, they forget the first dirty team was the Celtics. But since that's they quote-unquote player that was the star on that team was Larry Bird, it was somebody, you know, that had a white face, we made it seem like it was the bad boys who created all the physical play. Well, in reality, our physical play came in formed to combat Boston physical play. You see what I'm saying? But people don't remember this. You got to watch the Bad Boys documentary to even know this.
The Bad Boys touches on that. That documentary does. It really does.
So it's like if y'all was cool with Larry Bird and I'm doing this in 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. As soon as we emerge in 88, now all of a sudden we the bad guys because majority of our face, I mean, I'm just going to call it spade a spade. We black and our skin color don't look like Kevin McHale and Larry Bird and racist ass Boston and things like that. Now all of a sudden we the quote unquote thugs of the NBA.
Or they walked on, or the Celtics walked off the fucking court without checking.
And they started that first, but nobody said anything. Larry Bird did it. You see what I'm saying? So it's funny. Like I said, I'm not for, you know what I'm saying, if I'm trying to hoop, I got to come home with a black eye type shit, or I just want to go play basketball, now my arm broke type shit. Now, granted, it's a physical game. The hand checking, when you took that out, I feel like that was horrible. You know what I mean? But a lot of them fouls, man, like we can kind of do without a lot of that shit. You know what I mean? But to a degree, like Brandon was saying, with the highlights, we don't see Isaiah Thomas crossing motherfuckers over, putting up these crazy looking ass layups, flying straight to the rim. He had probably one of the best speed in the NBA at that time. One some of the best handles in it. We not seeing this when we see motherfucking clips Isaiah Thomas. We seeing Bill Laimbeer elbows. We forget he was one of the first stretch fours. You see what I'm saying? We forget he used to draw out to the three when it was uncommon. Like, what is he doing? He's a power forward. Why is he shooting threes? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, was that the stigma that we created? It's like, do you live with the good and bad with that? Because we'll be forever known. But it's unfortunate because out of that run, we could have had at least 4 or 5 titles, but we only got 2. We clearly was robbed in 88. You know what I mean?
You said we had a chip on our shoulder. I got a question. Had we gotten Carmelo and Dwayne Wade, would we have had a chip on our shoulder?
If we would have got,
I think we do in a certain degree, only because of Rip and Chauncey. They had a chip on their shoulder mainly, and then we added Rasheed. I don't know if we drafted Carmelo in 03, we probably.
If we drafted, bro, I gotta just say, I ain't trying to cut you off, but we drafted Carmelo Anthony. Do we still play with a chip? So I think we play with even more of a chip on our shoulders because a lot of people feel like Carmelo should have been drafted first.
Mm-hmm.
He even felt like he should have. He just won a national championship. Within 2 years, he won a high school championship and led Syracuse to the national championship and put up crazy ass numbers. And by default, LeBron James, fresh out of high school, is getting drafted number 1. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like LeBron did a whole lot of amazing shit in high school. The same amazing shit, and LeBron did in high school. Melo did a year prior in high school. Both of them was amazing high school players. Melo could have came out, actually. A lot of people don't know that. He chose to commit himself to Syracuse. So it's levels to that. You feel where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah, he benefited for that 1 year. He benefited, like, for real. Cause like he wouldn't have been going number 1 in high school.
Not in 03? I mean, not my bad. I'm sorry. Not in 02?
Not in 02, right.
Remember, Amari Stoudemire was coming out that year. And Amari had all the scouts and shit like that year prior. He went number 1, 2. Melo probably would have went like number 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if, like I said, like I don't if the Pistons would have drafted Carmelo, we wouldn't get Sheed.
We would have still got Sheed. I'm keep trying to tell y'all. You gotta always know the history of the Portland Trailblazers with Rasheed Wallace from 2002 to 2004. They was trying to motherfucker ship him off, bro, to every team. Nobody did. Mm-hmm. All 2003, that season, they denied it. Remember?
Right, I remember.
Was starting in, and they kept denying it. But behind closed doors, they kept trying to offer out Sheed for nothing. They tried to send him to the Lakers. They didn't want him. They tried to send him everywhere. They didn't want him. They finally was able to send him to Atlanta for like nothing. We still probably would have got Sheed. Then Atlanta didn't want him, bro. We traded, who was it? Zerbeco, Chucky Atkins, I think. Was it Chucky Atkins?
No, it's not Chucky Atkins, because Chucky Atkins won a championship with us, I think.
Chucky didn't win a championship with us. It was Lindsey Hunter and Mike James.
Okay.
No, that's who it was. We traded Lindsey Hunter, John Zerbeco, and somebody else and got She. Then we picked up Lizzie Hunter off waivers, bro.
Oh yeah.
So it's like we got She for nothing.
Hell yeah.
No team wanted Rasheed Wallace. No team. I feel like New Jersey could have used them because they was missing at least something. They went to back-to-back finals in 02 and in 03. So
you know how
04, why was y'all need?
Bro, you know how nasty that would be with She and Kenyon Martin on the side of each other, bro? With the side
That's all they needed was somebody to at least try
still there too?
That's a key.
Remember, they had Kid Kittles, RJ, Kenyon Martin. They had Aaron, what's his face, the red guy. They had a little squad, man. Keith Van Horn. They just didn't have nobody big. It was a bunch of small forwards out there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you get She, at least he can attempt. Not was he gonna be able to stop Shaq? No, but at least he can slow him down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Slow them down for sure.
Play small too, bro. They had
especially with that shit talking. No, I said he could have slowed down, especially with that shit talking. One thing She was good for, it was good to get in that nigga head.
Hell yeah.
You get in your head for sure, because you got tired of him running his mouth, and you felt like, all right, I gotta show him. But even after you showed him, he still ran his mouth. That was the crazy part. You score on Rasheed, and Rasheed still like, don't mean shit, don't mean a damn thing.
To go back to what you was talking about though, Brandon, I don't know if we got some time about the documentary. This is something I had forgot to say, dog. I will say this about Jerry Klaus, or whoever his name was.
Jerry Klaus.
He sort of kind of was right, but he was wrong with the field logic. Because first and foremost, we look at the Spurs, right? And they had a 20-year run with the same coach. During that 20-year run, Tim Duncan went from the second option to the first option to the second option to the third option. And by the time they won that title, he was the fourth option. You see what I'm saying? That last title in 2014. So do the math. In 99, he was the second option behind Devin Robinson that whole season. Then when the finals came, they moved him from second option to the first option. The second title in 03, he was option number one. And 05, Ginobili started to come in and become that second option. You see what I'm saying? That first option. In 07, Tony Parker was the first option. 2014, Kawhi Leonard started. You see what I'm saying? So I just feel like what he messed up at with Klaus, you keep this system that won you 6 rings. Phil Jackson came in and did something with the system. For whatever reasons, NBA teams didn't know how to combat it. You see what I'm saying? Not for 7 games straight. They didn't know how to combat it. So even if you feel like, all right, Scottie Pippen on his last leg, Dennis Rodman, 38 years old, 37 years old, he's mentally unstable, he on his last leg. Cool. You add in more. You keep Phil, and you add, all right, Scott, you was the second option this whole time. We got to move you to the third option now. You see what I'm saying?
But
add in somebody else to that second option.
And you know what you're speaking of is team dynamic. You're speaking of team dynamic. What I've been saying for I don't know how many times we even bring up basketball, it should always be that if I don't have this person, we still should be able to win. It should always be that way. It should never be because Rob is not playing, then me and CJ is not enough. It should never be that. It should always be we can still make this happen no matter what. But because these teams have this mindset where if this guy ain't playing and the rest of them ain't motivated to play, which is stupid because the motivation, number one, if we're going to keep it logically honest, I'm paying you. Get your ass on that court. Sorry.
Yeah. What'd you feel, CJ?
I feel that, we was talking about dynamics of the team. I think that's how I feel about the Pistons back in 04 and like 06. I was so mad when they traded Chauncey Billups, man.
Oh, 09, you mean?
Yeah, I remember that because I was going to college. I remember all that. That was when Rodney Stucker was supposed to be our savior all of a sudden.
That 15th draft pick, man, fuck out of here, man.
I said, nigga, what is this?
Oh, can we please talk about Could we please talk about that? Do we got enough time to talk about that, CJ, or we got a
got a
couple
couple
minutes?
minutes.
We got a couple minutes.
Foolishness
Can I
doing
please
on the
talk about
court,
the
bro.
Stucky shit, bro? Can I please talk about Stucky, dog? Because
Go
you
ahead,
brought him
my
up.
nigga.
Can I
my nigga. Get in there.
first and foremost, man, I'm gonna say it like this. I feel like I'm gonna go back further than I'm gonna go to Stucky. 2005, you know what I'm saying, Larry, when we got rid of Larry Brown, I feel like that was good and bad.
Yeah.
We needed, you know what I'm saying, Flip Saunders, but I feel like Flip Saunders wasn't good enough to be a head coach like that. But if he would have been like a secondary coach or an assistant coach, they could have won multiple titles. Sort of like how Mike Brown winning multiple titles now in Golden State, instead of like how he couldn't do nothing in Cleveland. When he had LeBron James in Cleveland, they was winning 63 games and losing in the Eastern Conference Finals and or getting to the finals and not being able to win. But he was such a mastermind on defense and knowing how to stop teams and stuff like that. But he didn't know how to get to the next level. With Steve Kerr, now they done been to 5 finals and won 3 rings. And I feel like maybe Larry Brown and Flip Saunders could have did the same thing. Fast forward to 2009, Chauncey Billups wasn't our problem, bro. Our problem was Tayshaun Prince. I done said this 1,000 times. I know I don't got enough time today to break it down, so I won't. We trade Chauncey Billups for Allen Iverson. Granted, Allen Iverson was my favorite player growing up in the 2000s. But by that time, dog, he was almost out of the league. He was selfish, and a lot of things that he was doing, the NBA was transforming into a whole totally different game that was outside of Allen Iverson's element. Fast forward the story, Allen Iverson allegedly gets hurt. We bring in Stucky. First and foremost, Stucky didn't want to give up his number. You don't do that. That was mistake number 1. Stucky, who the fuck is you? Now, granted, this not AI of 2001, 2002, but this is still Allen motherfucking Iverson. And number 3 on Detroit is Ben Wallace. So if you coming in with number 3, that's already a spit in the face. Thirdly, we get this motherfucker Hall of Fame first ballot former motherfucking MVP Allen Iverson on our team. You gives up that number humbly, bro. You didn't even make a name for yourself. That was issue number 1 I had with you, Stucky. Issue number 2, they decided to bring you in and start you at first it was shy guard because Rip Hamilton got injured and y'all tried to put Rip Hamilton off the bench. And you was a starter now because you had that one fucking good game against Atlanta. You was motherfucking great value brand D-Wade, and you couldn't even do that right.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole game plan was trying to get to the rim and trying to draw contact. You never developed nothing. You wasn't reliable on defense. You wasn't reliable on shooting a long ball. Every time you was in the clutch, you was folding. You was horrible, G.
That nigga didn't move. Most stiff person I ever seen.
You stiff as hell. Your crossover is everything
so
about you is stiff. The best thing you ever did was cross Iverson over when he went to Memphis. That was the only highlight of your whole career, dog. Outside of that, bro, you was horrible, man. Soon as you left here, you're not even in the NBA anymore. You should have never been a motherfucking starter. They made you a starter too soon.
Even if he was, he still should have stayed shooting guard.
He should have been a shooting guard coming off bench, period.
Mm-hmm. I think he could have been, when he first got into the league, I thought he could have played in the D-League for a few games and then come back. You know what I'm saying?
Stucky is the prime example of how many years in college he played?
2.
I think he did a whole 4-year stint.
No, he didn't.
He did too?
He only did 2 years, bro.
He's the prime example of somebody who should have did 4 years in college and probably even did a D-League/G League before he tried to get
to the You know what? He was balling in college. That's only because he was in a small college and he played against people that was like in a smaller like division. He was in a smaller division, D1 division. But at the same time, he was balling his ass off in college.
Because what is you gonna do in put it like this? You're not really a point guard, and if you gonna be an off guard, one thing off guards have that's like 6'3", but they not really a point, but they are off guard. They know how to shoot the ball. Stephen Curry, Ben Gordon, all the niggas who the size of a point guard, but they not really a point guard. They know how to shoot the ball from long range. Stucky didn't know how to do that. So you a misfit in the NBA. You're not a traditional point guard. You're not even trying to learn how to play traditional point guard. You're not trying to do it at all. You thought you was D-Wade.
Which was crazy because with him playing the way he played, left room for the foolishness to go down with Tayshaun.
My bad. I ain't want to. I know. I just had to say it, though. That's
I got a quick question. What? I got a quick question, Rob. Had we had kept Stuckey at the shooting guard, and then when we picked up Will Bynum, could we have at least been contenders if they would have kept Will Bynum on the court?
If they would have played Will Bynum and started horning him because he was 5'8", like boy didn't have skills, and like every time he came in the game, he was changing the game over. But since he was small and y'all didn't want to play him, if they would have played Will Bynum like how quote unquote they was playing Muggsy in the 90s or Spud Webb in the 80s, we could probably did something. But the way they disrespected Bill Bynum, dog, because he was small, it hurt us in the end. Because he was a hooper. He knew how to steal the ball. He knew how to shoot the ball. He knew how to get players involved. He brought energy. He did everything, dog, but the only issue was he was 5'8".
Mm-hmm. I mean, they should have did what the Knicks did with Nate Robinson. Shit.
But think about it, though. Will Bynum didn't have them hops like Nate Robinson did. Nate Robinson, you know what I'm saying, dunking and doing all that shit. They kept him for a while on the Knicks like as a gift, in my opinion.
Yeah, Nate was a prime athlete. A prime.
No, I'm not saying Will Bynum wasn't an athlete, but he wasn't that type of athlete.
No, he wasn't. Nate was scary.
He was a hooper, bro. He's a hooper. Nate is one of these type of people, man. If you give him literally 4 more inches, that nigga would probably be, I'm not going to say Iverson, but he'd be more on that level. He'd know how to get to the rim, and you would trust him a little more because he's a little bit taller. But at 5'8", it's like, damn, do I really trust you? You know what I mean? And I feel like we could have trusted him, but we just didn't. Who else was we really on? Greg Monroe? Like, everything we did was stupid, man. Charlie Villanueva? Like, what is we doing? Everything we did was dumb, man.
Dog.
We just started taking whatever we could take. We was that family member at the gathering. I don't need
Joe Dumars was desperate, bro.
No,
he kept trying to duplicate the 04 Pistons.
I don't want to call it desperate.
He was desperate, bro.
I've seen desperate. And desperate normally it puts you in a position to at least be a contender. He wasn't desperate. He was stuck in his ways.
Exactly. He kept trying to duplicate the quote-unquote hard-nosed, stuff to prove.
Extremely arrogant.
On his shoulder. You a blue-collar, you a team player. Stop that, bro. That's not – you're not going to find –
And even – go ahead.
No, I just was going to add in, like, you're not going to find the bad boys. You looked up in 04. You're not going to find that anymore. People don't even have that chip. And these people – think about this. You know, he messed up at – he started to try to motherfucker be a GM NBA during the beginning of social media. Mm-hmm. And you wasn't even paying attention to the era that we was moving into. This social media era, a lot of these players don't even too much care about being superstars or athletes. They want to be lit. They first motherfucker paycheck get 1,000 tattoos. They want to be trendy. They want to hang out with rappers. They want to get a Kardashian or one of these Instagram models. They mindset is not, oh, motherfucker, I got a chip on my shoulder. Look, I'm a hooper. People take me for what it is. I get to the line. This is who I am. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but it's like we skipping over key motherfuckers. We skipping over Paul George in the draft. We skipping over Greek Freak in the draft. We skipping over motherfucking Devin Booker, Klay. We skipping over all these superstars now in the draft because we want to go find a guy who might have.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? We skipping over a lot of players who a good amount of them wanted to come here and wanted to help. They wanted to help. That's crazy. These niggas in the draft like this. I hope I can do something for them.
Come on, I need your opinion, bro.
Hope I can fix this.
Say something. Jay. I'm done talking, man. My heart, I can't take it no more, dog. It's making me remember bad times.
Look, what year Contavious Caldwell Pope came out?
Oh, where you at, Brandon?
Because that was the worst pick that the Pistons ever made, bro. Like that pick picks me the fuck off. Because he was in Georgia. He wasn't doing too much, bro. He was averaging like what, 15, 16 points a game.
Where Brandon go?
I think Brandon had to go with his wife. I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, because I think we got CP. I want to say, was it 2013 that we got him?
Oh yeah, he gone.
Well, Brandon will probably be back. If not, man, you know what I mean? We'll see you later on the next episode, my G.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this off. But like, man, what's his name again? KCP. Yeah, KCP. That's what I'm trying to say. He was trash, man. Oh my god, he was off defense.
Remember, they kept saying that he was gonna probably be the next Kobe Bryant because that one game in summer league. I know you remember that, bro.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember him saying that.
Oh no, it wasn't 2013. I think it was 2014. We got him, dog. It was either 13 or 14, dog. Yeah, man. It was in the one of those sports groups I was in. They kept saying that goofy shit. I think it was SRG, dog. You know they say goofy.
That goofy
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage, man. Hopefully this year if they have a draft this year, hopefully they make the right decision to draft really good. Cause we got a good class coming in this year.
We'll see, man. We'll see, dog. I just feel like we got Drummond and we trying to, put the reset button, dog. Let's do it the right way.
Let's do it the right way. Yeah.
Start the drafting. Stop, motherfucker, trying to look for players that you think is going to be the breakout star and go for the motherfuckers that you know for sure have the potential off rip. We not about to luck up and get another Chauncey Billups. We not about to luck up and get another whole lot of things. Now, eventually, we could have probably get a Greek Freak. Nobody knew he was going to be this amazing when he came in. But it's up to that player. We can't force that on somebody. Definitely in this era to where basketball and a lot of athletes and superstars and entertainers, period, just want to be lit than they profession.
Exactly.
So when you see that these people don't want to put the work in or they scrubs and shit like that, stop falling in love with these people and get rid of them. No disrespect to Drummond. I appreciate everything he brought to the city and shit like that, but, bro, we was at that game. He refused to play defense. He never wanted to improve. He never even
lazy on defense, bro.
He just wanted to rebound. Cool, that's cool, but you're not gonna develop something, a baby hook or something we can rely on. You the biggest person out here. You not gonna work on your free throws.
That hook shot so damn, bro.
We got you 6-7 years, man. Just waste the potential. You can go somewhere and be a key piece on a championship team, and we can trade you for a key player that eventually we can have a championship run.
Yep.
But
I don't know, man. We're running out of time, man. So we gotta get out of here. But yeah, that was a good ass talk, though. That was
good, man. But just, man, I don't really got too much to say, dog, to end it off, man. You know what I mean? It's like everybody take care of themselves, dog.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see y'all Wednesday. If not Wednesday, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I guess next Saturday. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah, we about to get up out of here. But before we get out of here, we on your airwaves right now. Download, what's that app called again? Shit, what's that app called again?
Sure, I forget.
I'm getting old, bro. I'm getting old. Oh, Station Head. Download the Station Head app.
Station Head, damn, shit. We same age.
We gonna be on there on Friday. Some Fridays, not every Friday. We're gonna be on there some Fridays and Sundays at 9 p.m. Standard Time. Look under the Motown Motivated page on there. We gonna be on there. I thought we was gonna be on our page, but we gonna be on there. Follow us on Instagram, 3raw_podcast. Follow us on Twitter, 3raw podcast 1. For more inquiries, email us at 3rawpodcast@icloud.com. And yeah, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for everything y'all been doing for us for the past 2-3 years. And we about to get up out of here. This is CJ.
The man's Rob.
Jimmy not on here no more, so I say bye to him. So this is 3 Raw Podcast. Yeah.